What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from HOH TV here on YouTube, the one place on the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences, and I am here to talk to you guys about BB24 episode 15. It's a very good episode. I don't know how long this video is going to be, so I'd advise you to get some snacks, get comfortable, relax, and enjoy your boy. And if you're not looking at the visuals, you can just enjoy the audio. Before I get into this review, I do want to say thank you to everyone that has given me a happy birthday shout out. My birthday is 8/11 and today is the 12th. So again, shout out to all the Leos. On top of that, your boy, I don't know if you guys have known, but before I got into film, I was very much interested in fashion design, and I designed clothes. And so I have my online clothing store of designer t-shirts, or my designs on t-shirts and hoodies and hats and things of the sort. And yeah, go check that out because Beyonce has inspired me. The new Renaissance album has inspired me to create some specific designs. So I have a cozy collection and I have an alien superstar collection. So go check those out. I just ordered some samples and I can't wait to wear them because yeah, I wear my own clothing. Yeah, so go to actvshop.com and check out all of the designs I have up on the website. But yeah, let's get into episode 15 of Big Brother. So Daniel and Kyle are on the block, all right? And everyone who is anyone with a human soul is excited that Daniel is on the block, right? Terence wants to keep Daniel over Kyle. Daniel tells Kyle, I'm not going to campaign against you, but he's lying because he knows Kyle is a part of the alliance. Jasmine says there is an alliance because Michael took Monty off the block. Oh, wow, you think? You know, the one good thing I could say about Jasmine is that she is a pretty girl. I can say that about her. But physically, like visually, she's pretty. But her spirit and all of what's inside of her, the way that she treats people, the way that she talks about people, nasty, ugly, right? Alyssa gets drunk off of Michael's cider and it becomes a cider gate like it was the muffin gate. And she dances around twerking. Indy goes around looking to see who drank Michael's cider. Everybody blames Joseph for some reason. Is Joseph like the house clown or something, or the house prankster? Why are people like, you know, blaming him for this? I don't know. Anyways, I don't think anyone ever really found out that it was Alyssa. I think, you know, people were saying that it probably was Alyssa, but they didn't show a clip where anyone ever found out. And I don't know what it was giving on the live feeds, but Alyssa dancing around with no rhythm was funny to watch. It was comical, right? Yeah. Kyle says he's riding with the leftovers because Alyssa went against Monty. So the other side of the house that was riding with Daniel, trying to find a wave to ride. Let me go ahead and say that. And it's very interesting because Daniel is always talking about, you know, sheep. Oh, these people aren't playing. They don't know how to play. But the other side of the house were sheeping around Daniel. And so it's very interesting, the concept, right? But the other side of the house found it possible maybe, or thought it would be a good idea to shake things up. Oh, these just shaking the table to shake things up and go against Monty. Although it is a good idea in theory, it's too early. I think it's really, really too early, especially for Michael. Not for Daniel. Daniel has nothing going for him. But for Michael, someone who's built or is a part of a strong alliance, why would you go against the alliance? There's 6 people outside of your alliance. Why would you go against them? 5 to 6 is Daniel, Terence, Indy, Jasmine, Alyssa. 5 people out of your alliance. Why would you go against the 7? The odds, the math isn't mathing. It makes no sense to do that. It just really doesn't, because you wouldn't have the numbers. You would have 6 people mad at you trying to figure out why you went against them, and then you would mash up with 5 unwanted criminals. It just didn't make sense. It makes sense when there's the 7 of them left, or maybe the 8 of them left, but not the 12 of them, right? There's 12 of them now. Yeah. But anyways, I thought that was very interesting. You know, how Kyle was like, oh, I can't team with Alyssa because she ridiculously went after Monty, and it was just so messy how she went after Monty. It was messy how all 5 of them went after Monty. And Michael wasn't supposed to, like, what? I couldn't understand that. Kyle wants to slow things down for the optics, so he chooses to, you know, back down from Alyssa. Anyways, everybody already knows that they're a showman, so I really don't understand why they're acting like, I don't know. Too many people have caught them in a room just doing weird stuff. Then after this particular HOH last night, they're in the shower side by side together, separated by a curtain. It's just... Anyways, Daniel talks to himself saying you have to play with good players. He says everyone is playing a scared game because they won't go against Monty. But you followed the herd and went against Taylor. You went against Taylor for no legitimate reason. Outside of she hurt Paloma. Someone you don't even know. And then again, everything is hearsay. Everything that Daniel has responded to regarding Taylor has been hearsay. And he's so caught up in its conviction about it and holds it to be so truth and fact that he's just flying off the handle at this girl. Makes no sense. No sense. Daniel wants Alyssa to vote Kyle out. Jasmine says if you aren't ready to make big moves, you shouldn't play Big Brother. Girl, you have not made one big move since you've been in this house. Hush your face. Daniel tells Alyssa about the big alliance. I don't even know if at this point Alyssa believes him, but Daniel is telling the truth about it and, you know, explaining to her all of his experiences in dealing with Kyle. But Alyssa's just like, okay, thank you for letting me know. Whatever. Daniel tells Joseph, Michael made a mistake taking you off the block. He's trying to convince Alyssa and Joseph at this point to ride with him. And I don't really understand why he thinks that they would. Alyssa, sure. But again, just like they thought Kyle was like dumb and not really doing anything, they think Joseph is the same way. And Joseph is like this hunk of meat just like floating around or whatever. But interestingly enough, Joseph is strategized, and some of his strategies have planned out with the leftovers. You know, we're going to talk about that at the end of this video. They think Joseph is so lost. They're sitting there talking to him, and Jasmine says while Joseph is there, Joseph cannot be a part of any alliance. He's just lost in the sauce, and everybody's like, yeah, he is. Like, we're the ones letting him know about stuff. Like, what? Oh my God, these people are so slow. Daniel's speech was hilarious. To have someone believe that they are the show, to have someone be a super fan and believe that they are the show? What? How can you be a super fan and not realize that Taylor is the face of Big Brother 24? How do you not realize it? Oh, because you're so caught up with the hearsay of what's going on in the house. BB fan, Big Brother fan, you're so lost in the sauce, you think you're the only one playing the game, and you look ridiculous. You look ridiculous. It's just, I really am, I'm not really that upset, but I'm kind of annoyed because I thought that Daniel would be like a ride or die, like from day one, because he won the first HOH. I thought he would be making moves, and he was just sensible to me. Like, I don't know. I like ride for like good people and people that actually win comps. And so he won the comp, and I was like, oh, he's about to be a boss. But clearly he wasn't. And it was horrible. I also thought Nicole was going to be a boss too. And clearly she wasn't. They were both horrible people. Horrible people and horrible at the game. Like, what? Joseph screams, shout out to everyone who took the bar while, okay. So Daniel's speech, I went ahead. So Daniel's speech saying, good morning, good evening, house guests. I want all of you guys to evict me because you're all a bunch of bozos and clowns, and we're all in a circus and y'all look like fools, or whatever he said. I was like, okay, whatever. Clearly, they're not what you're calling them. Daniel's calling everyone sheeps, but he needs to be speaking to himself because clearly he's the sheep. Clearly he's the clown. And hopefully when he does watch this stuff back, he understands the type of person that he's been in this house. I hope, right? Michael kissed his ring. Okay, so Michael kissed his ring when Julie was, talking about people having to vote. And then, they turn to Michael and they tell Michael that he cannot vote because he's head of household. I thought that was amazing how he just kissed his ring. Michael is a great person. Michael is a great person. And I love Michael. I love Michael. He's a great person. His rant into the camera spoke about humility and being solid as an individual, as a human being, and how he's not going to mistreat people. And he's LGBTQ, and he's running the thing. I love it. 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 Shout out to Michael. Oh my God. I wonder what's going to happen with it. They split the house in half, and there's going to be 2 Big Brother houses. What? Oh God. Okay. I'm so excited about next week. I'm worried about next week too. Joseph screams. Okay, so everybody goes to make their vote or whatever, and Joseph says, I'm the clown, so I'm gonna vote Daniel out or whatever. But as he's exiting, he's screaming his shout outs. And when he opens the door, he's saying, shout out to everyone that took the bar. And in my mind, I'm like, bro, shut up. Because right when he's exiting, Terence is there. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but Terence was there. And I'm like, at the end, I'm like, oh, it's Terence. Terence didn't hear anything, and Terence is not going to put 2 and 2 together. He's just... He's not going to put oh, it's Terence. What is he going to say? Oh, Joseph screamed something about going to the bar. What? You know what I'm saying? But had that been me on the other side, first of all, I probably would have I would have guessed it probably a long time ago. Oh, he's a lawyer. Okay. All right. I would have guessed it a long time ago. But he was like, shout out to everybody that took the bar. I was like, huh? I would be like, huh? What? But we talk about Terence. He ain't hearing that. He don't know. Terence votes to evict Kyle, and I'm like, why? Why? Daniel just walks out without even hearing Julie. I thought that was amazing. That would be me. I would be. If these people vote me out, I'm exiting just like that. And it was interesting. I think it was Brittany that was Brittany or one of the chicks was he exited like Cody. Baby, I am Cody and Davon in the house. I'm telling you I am. If they vote me out, I ain't no hugs. Ain't none of that given. I'm not giving none of that. Oh, y'all voted me out? Deuces, you know what I'm saying? And I just hope that they vote me out before jury, because I would be a bitter juror. I would. And would. What? And I be trying to understand, why these people are not bitter when they in jury. I seen a couple bitter jurors, and they didn't vote the person to win because of how they did them. That just makes sense. That's why they call it jury management, baby. You better manage me. If you think you're going to have me at the end, vote for you and you do me dirty, stop it. And that's what happened to Todrick. They didn't vote for Todrick because, jury management. Todrick was so toxic in the house, apparently. I don't watch Celebrity Big Brother. In my mind, I'm like, why these celebrities playing? Oh, for charity. They could just donate the money. These people don't really need it. I don't watch Celebrity Big Brother means nothing to me. It means absolutely nothing. But Daniel walking out without even hearing, anything, and the only person he hugs is Terence, that made sense to me. That's the reality of reality TV to me. And everybody was like, bye, Daniel. No, don't do that. No. Don't do that. Why y'all doing that? Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Deuces, you know what I'm saying? That's the realest Daniel has ever been to me, to be honest. And it is what it is. Daniel hugs Terence and tells Terence about some dandruff powder under his pillow or some crap, whatever he said. Daniel says he doesn't take responsibility for Nicole going home. It's the delusion for me. It's the delusion for me. Monty told you to keep nominations the same. You opted not to. Matter of fact, I'm going to go further. Monty told you to keep nominations the same because Nicole doesn't have the votes to stay. That's what he told you. And you still put up Nicole because your pride got in the way. You thought your D size was bigger than it is in all actuality, and it could not fit in the twat. What? It was your fault. Clearly it was your fault. Then you went on this huge, tyrant to go after Monty, and like, for what? You used the veto to put her up. It's ridiculous. Clueless. Daniel says Taylor, the issues with Taylor was personal and game. Boy, bye. What are you talking about? You're sitting here defending a girl you know nothing about. And this girl, apparently there's this clip of, Paloma talking bad about you, calling you a weirdo, calling you a freak, and all of this other stuff. And you was swearing up and down about Paloma. You didn't even know Paloma. And you didn't even take the opportunity to get to know Taylor. How is it that Monty is able to see that Taylor is a pretty decent person, but you aren't? And the lie stemmed from Monty to begin with? Like, what are we talking about here? I don't understand that. Daniel says if he's done anything wrong, then when he watches it back, he will work to right the wrongs that he's done. He has no understanding. Just like Nicole, they have no understanding. Because Julie tells Daniel to his face that the only reason why the leftovers were created was the leftovers were created after he did what he did to Taylor. The house banded together, thought that Taylor was being mistreated, and that's where the leftovers were formed. And even in that moment, he's like, well, I respect that, and I'm going to have to watch it back to see how I handled the situation. Anyways, Julie says, you waited 10 years to get on this show. It was the shade for me. Julie has this way of being like so shady, but then it's like nice. And she's the host, so you're like, bitch. Okay, I'll answer your question. You know what I'm saying? But Julie was like, you've waited 10 years to like be on this show. Pause. Was it worth it? What? Baby. I'm not watching the extended interview. Y'all can watch it and let me know if y'all see anything. Jasmine hugs Turner, finding out that the Festy Bestie thing is over. Turner's face was hilarious. He was like, don't touch me. Like, girl, don't touch me. They are happy. They all make it to jury, and then we get to the HOH competition. So I have to say, I very rarely, very seldomly watch the live feeds because I feel like there's never really anything for me to see. And whenever I do want to watch if I were to ever want to really watch the live feeds, it would be during the HOH that cuts off on Thursday. And typically they don't show the HOH competition, but for whatever reason they showed it this time. And someone that follows me on Instagram, let me go to it right now. I swear Instagram is so freaking like slow, man. It's ridiculous. Noah's Ark Ford was like, yo, watch the live feed. So I went on the live feeds and it was the HOH competition and it was the wall. So I was able to watch the competition. And there were moments where the live feeds cut out and I couldn't really understand why they kept doing that. Like, just play the freaking live feeds. I'm like, are they saying things that they don't want us to hear? Like, what's going on? But we were able to watch the entire live. I was able to watch the entire live feed, the HOH competition, and to see who won. And I know in my last video, I said that Taylor is a bad player because she's not winning anything. But she has the ability to prove me wrong. She has the ability to prove a lot of people wrong because I'm not the only one that thinks she's like not a great player. She's been a victim of circumstance all the way up until now. And now it's time to see what she does. And the reason why I say she was a victim of circumstance, she has not strategized at all in this house. And if she has, none of her plans have been into fruition. The leftovers were created by Kyle and broadened by Joseph. Okay? Held together by Monty and his strategies, Joseph and his strategies, and Kyle and his strategies. Now, everyone else has played along. Michael has proven himself outside of the alliance to be worthy of holding the winning title because he's won 5 challenges right now. And on his HOH reign, he opted intelligently, making a smart move not to take a big threat out of the house. Taylor has been following along this whole time. Turner's HOH was where it all started with getting out Amira. Okay, so Turner has played a game. Joseph is playing the game even though he's not winning any competitions. Kyle has played an immense part of this game. Monty has played a part in this game. Michael has played a part in this game. Now it is up to Taylor to play a part in this game. She has won HOH and she won it fair and square. No one dropped to make her win, which happens quite like a lot of seasons. It happens like, oh, if you drop, and I just really want to see my mom and Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one dropped. The guys held on and they could not keep up with Taylor, and she kept saying, this is light work, this is light work, this is light work. That matters. No one gave her the comp, and Kyle dropped at the end, and she was able to win, and I was filled with so much emotion because it was a genuine, authentic, working hard win for her. Michael was cheering for her, and that was so great to see. And when she started crying on the pad, and Kyle stayed there to console her a little bit, and she was just filled with emotion because she was like, I get to get a letter from my mom. And I'm actually choking up thinking about it. Now, this girl has been through so much, and now she gets to prove why she belongs in this house. Not only is she a victim of circumstance, and everyone feels bad for her, and yes, she's a good person, but she won fair and square, beat out all of the people. The only one that did not play was Michael. Beat them all out fair and square, and now she has the ability of holding power and the ability to strategize. And I just hope she utilizes this moment fairly, like to her best ability, right? And like she stands firm on this. I want to know what's going to happen next week because I have a feeling, because Julie said that whoever wins HOH holds a lot of power. And in my mind, I'm really thinking that maybe Taylor is going to divide the house into the 2 groups. And if Taylor has the power to divide the house into the 2 groups to play the 2 separate games, then baby, that will be a determining factor on whether or not she's going to survive long term in the house. I feel like Taylor, if she's smart and if she has the ability to divide the house, I feel like Taylor should split the leftovers in half. I feel like Taylor should put herself in a house with, I think it should be her, Monty, Brittany, Indy, Jasmine. That's what I think it should be. I think those 6 should be in the house, and then the other 6 should be in the other house. Terence, Michael, Kyle, Turner, Alyssa. And I'm missing someone because there's 12 people left, right? I think there's 12 people left. I think. I don't know who I'm missing. But I think that should be the split in the house. Because I feel like if they're playing 2 separate big brothers, that the leftovers are still a part of each house, that they'll vote the other person out, is what I'm thinking. So if Taylor has the ability to split the houses in half, that should be her split. I really think that makes sense. I really think that makes sense because Joseph will protect Taylor, Monty will protect Taylor, and then they have Indy and Jasmine to get out on their end, and then Michael, Michael, Turner, and Kyle will be tied to each other, and then they have the other two. I think that would be the best way to go. If Taylor's not the deciding factor of the house split, then I really don't know what's going to happen, but the double eviction will show if Taylor's going to last in this house, and I just hope that she lasts in this house because now she has the ability to prove to herself, the house guests, and the world why she's not just a victim of circumstance, that she can actually play the game. She won the HOH fairly. Let's see if she runs this thing. On the BB update, she was saying that she wants to put up Terence and Indy, and Turner's like, well, what are you going to tell Terence? And she said flat out, like, you were continuously campaigning for the person that basically hated me in this house. So why would I keep you in this house? That makes sense. But I was speaking to my IG buddy, J Dell, and he was like, oh, Taylor, you know, promised the girls that she wouldn't put them up and that she shouldn't have done that. I agree that she shouldn't have done that, but I also agree that she doesn't owe anyone anything at this point. And like, she has to make, she just has to make a decision, right? And so she just has to make a decision. But oh my God, Taylor, I'm so freaking happy for her. I love Michael, I love Taylor, and I love Joseph. Those are still my top three. And now Taylor has the chance to prove herself with the strategy and like making sure her HOH counts. I think that's where it needs to be. I think Terence needs to go home. And I want Terence to go home, but Jasmine needs to go home too. Jasmine on the BB updates was saying like, oh my God, like it sucks, right? Because just the other day, and I don't know when my camera's gonna go off, but just the other day, you know, Taylor was so down on herself because she wasn't winning anything. And I was right there with her. I was like, girl, you suck. You're not winning anything. Now she's won something. And now the whole house, the whole entire house is shook because the whole house at one point played against her in her demise. The whole house. And so now the whole house is shook, especially everybody out of the leftovers. Especially, I know Monty's shook. Monty's like, oh shit, like, is she gonna go against me? You know? And that just sucks. Like, that just sucks. And you know, and I'm getting like angry, like when Taylor was talking to Joseph and was trying to hide herself from everybody because she was having to come to terms with how she's been treated in the house and how she feels like that's like the worst feeling in the, like, come on. And you know, Joseph was such a man, like such a dope ass dude. Like, you know, I'm not here out of necessity. I'm here because I genuinely want to make sure that you're okay. Oh, girl, just grab his ass and pull him in. Like, what? That man is so fine. What? Baby, like Alyssa and Kyle child by, it's Taylor and Joseph for me. Like, what are you saying? And I just wish Monty was that for Taylor. Because Monty finest. Like, I just wish Monty was that for Taylor, but that's just not it. Joseph is just genuine. Joseph is a cool dude and just genuine. And, you know, I appreciate the fact that everyone, not everyone, but Joseph, Michael, Turner, they realized the error in their ways week 1, week 2. Even though Michael was just complicit, Joseph was complicit, Turner was complicit, they were still complicit, you know? And so anyways, I love Michael, number 1. Joseph is still my number 2. Taylor is my number 3. I just want to see what she's going to do with this HOH. And then honestly, I said Monty can still be my 4 because I like how he's been playing. And then Turner can be my 5, even though there's a lot going on with Turner outside of the house. But to be honest, Turner used his HOH to make a bold statement with going with Taylor. And so even though Turner has some issues outside of the house, maybe being in this house really brings out the good in him. I don't know. It's just a lot going on. Anyway, leave your comments below. Let me know what you thought about this particular episode. Let me know who are your top 3 and how do you think this twist with the 2 Big Brother houses is going to go? What 2 houses you think should be split if Taylor has the deciding? If Taylor has the deciding vote, baby, I would do it just like I said. Anyways, love y'all. And I really am going to audition for the next season. Dude.